ready with making it live, right? Thank you. So we can start the session, ma'am, but if you can help us by 3:15, if we can stop for question. So 3:15 to 3:30, we will take up questions so that we can.
We'll do that. So
thank you so much. You can start.
Yeah, as I said, this is a great opportunity to interact with the entire academia of the country, and how the education sector will contribute to educating children and the teachers through this master trainer program. And we wish to inculcate all the essential knowledge in terms of cyber safety and awareness, not only to prevent cybercrime, but also have the right incident response and combat the cybercrime so that we are able to effectively curtail it from rising in India. So with this vision, I do want to start with today's presentation. It will be focused on legal aspects of cyber law. Since I belong to the legal fraternity, I've been practicing for 22 years in this field. There will be some practical tips I will be sharing during the course of the presentation, and we'll take up questions at the end of the presentation. I may share the screen now. Are you able to see the screen, please?
Yes, ma'am, we are able to.
Yes. Okay. So the topic for today is the handling and managing cyber crimes in an educational setup. So in a setup which is educational, we are talking about how we will be managing cyber crimes. And in case of, cybercrime happens, and in case there's an incident, then what we need to do to proactively curb this or to deal with it. So here, this is our main motto. We're empowering minds with cyber legal education, and at the institutions that we've founded, we are aggressively working towards achieving this objective. And let me now just initially start with introducing you, after all, what is the cyberspace. When we say cyberspace, it's a virtual space. We are talking about a space which has just no borders, because unlike national frontiers where there are territories, there are boundaries, cyberspace has just no boundary. You will appreciate that this term, it started long ago, 1950s, when, 80s rather, when there was a science fiction named Neuromancer, where the hackers were waging war against secure data. That is when this particular term was coined. Now, given the current, the understanding of what is cyberspace and internet and technology, we're talking about AI today, or we're talking about metaverse today, all these are dynamic, they are borderless. They have just anonymity as a key feature, where anybody can, be there on the internet, and even fake identities can be carved. They can be hidden identities through proxy servers or using of online tools. And definitely there is advantage as well as there are threats in the online cyberspace, which we'll be talking about. So we are aware that this technology can be both a boon as well as a bane. So we are going to be highlighting those key aspects during the discussion today. Now, let's see, in India, just some statistics I wanted to share. How many kids are exposed to online risks? More than any other country is what has been reported widely in various newspapers. And there are reports and surveys to say almost 66 million children aged 5 to 11 years, they are active internet users in India. With these glaring statistics, you will appreciate that we need to educate the children, just like when we say that they're supposed to be driving at 18 and not below. There have to be some etiquettes, some basic, educational tips given to them so that they're able to handle technology, they're able to safeguard themselves online. So with this, we see that the crimes against children have risen, particularly during the pandemic, because of the lack of the awareness. And when we see Karnataka, that has reported the highest number of crimes against children in 2021. These are the reports of NCRB. And out of 1,000 such incidents which were reported in India, the state accounts for 164 cases. Now, this is not the only state. There are other states like Maharashtra and even Delhi Bangalore, cities like Bangalore and other places which have hugely, I would say, been impacted during pandemic particularly, and lots of criminals have targeted children and vulnerable sections of the public. So with this background, we need to understand the importance and relevance of today's topic, that after all, if such a lot of crimes have emanated, then how do we really, what do we do? What should be the roadmap and action plan for all of us to achieve? Now, computer crime, as we all understand, is e-crime. It has various synonyms. When we say computer crime, we actually mean that there is a computer, which could be even a target of a crime. Supposingly, there is a damage to data, system is hacked or destroyed. The data can be destroyed through malware and viruses. Now there, obviously, the computer is the target of a crime. It could also prove as a means adopted to commit a crime. So if it's a tool used like a medium, for example, there are instances of cyberbullying, cyber stalking, even child pornography, and other kinds of data thefts pertaining to children, and phishing. So in those cases, where a person is made, like a child is made a target of a crime, there it's a means that is being used as a medium to commit a crime. Now, most of these crimes, we all understand, are not new. Things like fraud, theft, offenses like blackmail, they have been there even in our IPC, which is the general law in India. But the way in which technology has been used to commit these crimes is what it makes different from the usual crimes or conventional crimes. And that's the reason we call them as cyber crimes. Now, we obviously classify them also because there are so many myriad different kinds of crimes today. So we classify them as crimes against government, crimes against property, and crimes against persons. So, for example, in crimes against government, there would be cyber terrorism or seditious, messages sent, or anti-national, anti-religious, and there could be those kind of issues, hate speech. And then crime against property, for example, there could be plastic money frauds, phishing frauds, and various other, stealth of data, those kind of issues. And then crime against persons, as I just said, could be to defame a person or to stalk, to troll a person. Now, some of you may not be very familiar with these terms. I know revenge pornography is there, grooming is there, or during the course of our trainings, that you would be made familiar with these terms. I also endeavor to do that during this session, which we will be covering certain key terms as well. Now, let's just look at cyber threats to children. We all are aware, that on internet, children are vulnerable. Lots of predators are there, child groomers who groom them, who entice them into illegal activities like clicking selfies and putting them on the web, or blackmailing them later on, after they share the data gullibility, or the children could be stalked, followed, watched online. Hidden webcams could be used, trigger of webcams through malware could also be there. There could be spyware, there could be viruses. We are all aware of that. What is the motive? You must have thought about this at some point of time. The motive generally, the research and studies have indicated, is either sexual gratification, or it could be commercial exploitation, or some personal grudge also sometimes against a child. Now, studies have indicated that almost 53% of children, they have been reported to be sexually abused online. And some surveys have also indicated that they've been victims of cyberbullying, around 53% of children. Now, in 2020, around 1,000 odd cases were reported against children, cybercrime cases. It's only tip of the iceberg. We have several cases which go unreported. And I must also bring this to your notice that in POCSO law, which is the Protection of Children Against Sexual Offences Act, there is a reporting requirement which is mandatory. Often schools, teachers, or parents or children may not know this, but it's mandatory to report any child is being sexually abused online, or there is a child pornographic clip which is circulated, and it's possible to trace the offender also. We have successfully resolved these cases by investigating them and by approaching the right forum, that is the court, to have the cases decided by keeping confidentiality of the identity of the child also. The names are not revealed. It is it is possible to have the whole proceeding in camera, which is in confidential environment and not in open court. So those are the kind of issues which a lot of times institutions are not aware of, which one must understand here. Now, this brings us to, I want to discuss what are the threats, after all, children face online. In a nutshell, I've given this in a slide, but I want to just explain very briefly the new terms involved. One I mentioned was stalking and trolling. Now, trolling is someone can be a child, for example, if he's on social media, has a private or a public account, can be trolled. So trolling is to harass a child, to humiliate a child, or to cause any kind of blackmail to a child, or intimidation through social media or otherwise online. It's called trolling. And stalking is watching someone, following someone, what they're researching online or which pages they're visiting through viruses or otherwise also, just stalking a child through persistent emailing or otherwise. That is what is known as stalking. Again, the motive could be to harass a child or to defame a child. These are common motives. Then we have sexual pornography, child pornography, where a child is used to create pornographic images. Often this is without consent. And sometimes their pictures are, with, I would say, morphed using software tools. And a minor cannot be also legally is not capable of giving consent. So children are often put into activities, or criminals would entice them on social media by befriending them initially, asking them for their interest levels and other things, and then slowly, gradually draw them into illegal activities like creating pornographic pictures or sending malware into their systems, by which they, without their knowledge, take a lot of pictures and or make a video and then send it to be viral for commercial reasons or otherwise. Then you have a lot of other offenses like cheating by personation, creating a fake social media profile, creating misusing their pictures online, or bullying them. Then identity theft is part of what I was explaining, that someone can just pose as another child and misuse their picture on the profile just to cause harassment and defamation again. And several of these crimes, you see, they were conventional crimes, but now in this offline media, it has a huge impact because of the way it goes viral in this whole, cyberspace, and the pace at which it can cause damage and havoc. So that is the reason we need to take immediate action. The evidence which is collected in such cases can be, like messages, images, photos, anything which is a part of this whole, attack should be kept safe. So there should be screenshots saved to save the electronic evidence through which we can investigate other offenses. That is how it is normally done. So now emerging threats, we're talking about emerging threats to children. Internet, is full of various kinds of threats. So when we're talking about things like cyberbullying or internet addiction or, pornography or identity theft, we must understand that many children who become victim of cybercrime, they don't even report it. They don't discuss it with their parents or teachers, which they must. This is something we're encouraging, and children clubs should be formed. Online complaint boxes, ePOXO button is there on the National Cybercrime, you can say Child Protection Board also has that, NCPCR has that. And there are various other helplines. I'll be talking to you about them, 1098, 1091, 90, and then 112. Then the National Cybercrime Reporting Portal is also available, which is the national portal where one can report any kinds of, cybercrime. and that has a zero FIR concept. So when we say zero FIR concept, you can be sitting anywhere using a system, report any crime, and that will be registered by the police. So, and then further investigation can take place. So many children are into gaming today. And we have seen lots of challenges, that we've seen more challenge. We've seen problems like blue whale. We also know of internet addiction today. And many times through gaming, they are being drawn into false ads which are luring them into easy way of earning money, or into even dark web is being used to entice them into drugs or other kinds of illegal activities. And advertisements which are not fit for their age, use of violence, hate is something which is being, floated across the net, which needs to be curtailed. So the government of India, they are also, initiating a lot of good guidelines and introducing measures, including putting the due diligence guidelines on the government. Government has issued various rules regarding that, putting the obligations on the intermediaries to actually, ask them to put the terms and conditions of their use, check with KYC norms, who is uploading what on the web, and if they're on an app store, then what kind of apps are doing, is there a proper KYC check of what apps are being, circulated or available on Android or Mac platforms. All those, issues the government has looked into, and the Ministry of IT is also very aggressively coming up with various laws, like, reporting a cyber attack, which is on an institution, even an educational institution who suffers from a hacking attack, needs to be reported in 6 hours time window. So that is how, we have seen the changes which are coming with new emerging issues in technology and new issues and new challenges. There are new laws which are framed from time to time. Now, I just want to take you through very briefly through the basic cyber threats. When we say from my book, Protection of Children on the Internet, there have been various terms which we commonly use, like trolling, for instance, and then cyberbullying. I just explained to you all these briefly, but it's important to understand some new terms like sextortion or revenge pornography as well. So when we say revenge pornography, there are a lot of times, pornographic materials circulated after a relationship is estranged. After a relationship is estranged, earlier the child may be befriended by another person, but later on, the child, may not continue the relationship. Now, in that scenario, the criminal will actually come and, what he would try to do is circulate those pictures to defame the person or the child. So that is known usually as a revenge pornography. And sextortion is to extort somebody, to force somebody into, committing an act which the child doesn't want to. So that is for sexual favors. So that is something which we known as sextortion in those parlance of cyber terminology. Now, I also want to, you to understand that there are various, when we say abuses to children, online threats, there have been various, depictions which we have used, when we create some legal toolkits or otherwise, and some of when they see, say, online threats to children, they associate and they understand figures and visualization better. So we have from time to time used various, in I would say, images or illustrations to explain the same. Now, we are talking about sexting at this point. Sexting is when you send a sexually explicit message using a mobile or an internet. Now, when we say any SMS, any images which could be sent, or any videos could be sent through social media, which are objectionable in nature, that would be sexting. And happy slapping is a term which is commonly used where mobile or camera is used to record an incident we've seen some schools, having such incidents in their institution where a child is bullied, and that clip has been circulated on social media. Lately, there were some incidents where hidden webcams were found inside washrooms or inside even shopping malls and educational institutions even. So that has created, again, a huge, agitation in the country. So those kind of issues have been seen in the news and heard about on very regular basis nowadays. So we need to be, very sure of what IT policies our education institutions have, because often, institutions lack their proper guidance and the rules, set of rules to for the institution to follow, or for the stakeholders like even teachers or children to understand that how they need to use technology and how not to use technology, and what could be the repercussions of the same. So we'll be talking about some of the legal implications, but it's important to say that there are very, very clear cut laws on this issue. And for that reason, we must understand that any institution in the country, any institution which is into education space, needs to give this handbook or this IT framework of usage of internet to their children. Libraries have to have filters, appropriate guards also, so that they are only able to use the technology for the benefit and not use it in a manner which jeopardizes their learning in any way, or their mindset should be good, healthy, and well-being should be the main focus of attention. Then there would be other issues like rumor spreading. A lot of children, they'll just type a message and send it as a rumor. They just want some to play a mischief. But we must also tell them that when do they transgress the line? When a particular act becomes illegal, it's something like they want to express themselves. Any child can, and it's free to express their feelings or their thoughts. But abusively, if they're abusing another child or anybody else for that matter, they are transgressing the privacy and the respect that the other child owes. So that is something, which has become illegal. So if there is a complaint to be lodged, one can definitely have the right means of approaching it, rather than, sending any abusive messages to a child or posting any kind of information. Now, that is something we must educate our children to on this aspect as well. Then comes violating another person's privacy without the permission of another child or knowledge of another child. The video or photographs cannot be recorded and cannot be circulated, especially when it comes to their personal pictures. Now, that is something, again, violative of privacy of a child. So that is something which should not be permissible, and it is actually illegal. And morphing, of course, making fake pictures or of a child and then circulation of the same is also illegal. Now, these pictures are actually depicting what our children are facing online these days, and many of those incidents which we read or hear in media or otherwise are quite alarming. When it comes to cryptocurrency frauds, even that has risen, and children have had phishing attacks on children. Their credit cards have been compromised. The misuse of their parental consent that has been given, for the credit card usage has been again compromised because of these social engineering attacks. So through SMS or through voice, messages, or through emails, like fake, I would say lottery scams, fake loan apps, all these have created, and fake gaming coupons, those have created all these kind of issues and problems, and they have been made a target of cybercrime. Now, what is our concern? As teachers or as educators, you would appreciate that we are concerned, even as parents, that they would bump to something, they would encounter something online which is not fit for their age. We are also apprehensive of any links or emails they keep receiving from time to time, any spyware which may be embedded in their phone, any wrong link which they forward without thinking, maybe a fake news. They may believe certain things by reading about them online, which are not true. They could be something to do with a child's mental well-being or otherwise. And we are also apprehensive of social networking attacks. Somebody misuses social media to, again, harass a child. And the most important problem nowadays is also addiction. So we are also seeing a lot of repercussions of the same on their psychological well-being and physical well-being, which I'm sure the other sections would have covered. So many instances of these issues we've seen in terms of case studies, and whether it is, DPS MMS case, which was the first, the Baazi.com case, wherein a clip was found, reported, and it was circulated on the web. And there have been other cases, the Adnan murder case, where on social media, a child was contacted, and then those children kidnapped him, and then there was reported crime in that particular case. There have been many other cases of which we see the news reports in media, and many children have actually succumbed to all these problems and not disclosed the issues, and which have created adverse consequences. So it's important that to understand there is law in the country, and if such an incident ever happens, they can seek legal redressal. So we'll straight away come to what those laws are now. Very briefly, without using too many, I would say, cyber terminologies or legal jargons, I just want to very briefly explain you what those are. So the IT Act in the country is the special law. We say this is the special law in the country. And whether it is POCSO, it's again a special law where any children-related crime, whether it's sexual harassment or other kinds of issues which are linked with, you can say, creating of a child pornographic image or otherwise, is seen. Those kind of issues you can see under POCSO Act. Up to 3 years of punishment and fine has been provided there. In the IT Act also, issues like hacking, or for that matter of fact, child pornography, there it's 5 years of punishment and fine or more. In hacking, it is 3 years of punishment, fine or more. And in IPC, there are many other provisions like intimidation. You have identity like theft or cheating. Those issues are also dealt with under these various provisions. Now, if it is anything to do with a copyright, there's obviously a special law for that. So those are different acts which apply depending on what the scenario is. But India, we have signed the Convention on the Rights of the Child. And so we try to emulate those practices in our current laws. We have those principles highlighted. So when we say Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, this act was also created because we have a commitment to protect the rights of the children here. And despite these, I would say, laws, we still find these glaring instances of child abuse or other kinds of issues. But the law exists. We just need to, implement the provisions in the right manner. There are structured trainings given to even law enforcement officers, police officers, judicial officers. There have been special courts set up in the country to deal with POCSO cases. Yet the conviction rate, I feel, is quite low. We should be, and we are trying to advocate this. And I myself have put this suggestion across that there should be criminal courts set up specifically to deal with cybercrime. Because at this point in India, we don't have special courts only for cybercrime. We have general courts and the criminal justice system, which we are using for other criminal matters, only hear these kind of cases. So this brings us to, a slide where we are just trying to capture the kinds of offenses we see under the IT Act. Now, definitely when we see violation of privacy, usage of MMS clips, or cheating by personation, publishing sexually explicit content, or even attempt to commit an offense or instigating others to commit an offense is also a crime. So identity theft, we've talked about all these issues. There is one provision which has been struck down that was ambiguous, which is sending of offensive false messages. But lately, we see these new provisions will be discussed under the new amendments which may come in the IT Act. And recently, we found something as a KYC check requirement in the telecom bill also. And I must also mention the PDP bill, because we earlier had this 2019 bill, but now we have a new bill for data protection in the country, which is being debated. So that will also safeguard data and privacy rights of children and others in the country, but it's still in the midst of being considered. Now, this brings me to an important segment, which is the sections of the IPC. Now, when we say IPC, that is a general law, Indian Penal Code, and we have these usual general sections on, say, outraging modesty of a woman or promoting enmity between different religious groups, receiving a stolen computer resource. All these things are there, but we use these provisions depending on what case is there. So I'll give you one example. In one of the cases, there were some fake, I would say, handles created for a social media, on social media, like using the name of a child and his picture. Now, once the pictures were clicked, screenshots were saved, some forensic study was done from where this has been created. The IP address was found. The contact of the contact and coordination of the social media platform, one was able to understand the location from which this profile was created and uploaded. And every footprint on the net can be tracked, mostly because it's something that has a footprint. And therefore, we always encourage the children to understand, they should create a positive footprint. So if any particular email has been sent or any file has been created, it always has some metadata which is there in a system or a particular file, and that can be looked into, and even deleted messages can be recovered from a device. So that with the help of the social media platform and their servers had those footprints and files, we were able to understand from where file was uploaded and created, and we were able to trace the person. Now, in such a scenario, there would be a criminal action, there would be a civil action also, particularly where there's a defamation caused. So in those cases, both remedies lie. That's how those cases are resolved. And sometimes, there were cases even where a fake website was created. And in that scenario, the registrar of that website, the hosting company of that website, was contacted, and court orders were taken, to take those particular objectionable pages from those websites down. So those remedies are also available. And gullibility, children may put anything on the web themselves, and later on they want to delete it, and that footprint goes viral. So that in that scenario also, we have the right to be forgotten in this country now. There are a lot of new cases which are prevalent. So even that right exists, and under right to privacy. And there have been some good decisions to allow such taking down of that content as well. So that's important to also educate our children on these rights, and they have a right to privacy, they have a right to free expression, and they have a right to legal redressal in case there is a crime committed. So storing of any pornographic materials, now that's also a punishable offense, up to 3 years of punishment and fine. And using a child for pornographic purposes, again, 5 years of punishment and fine. These are cognizable and non-bailable offenses. The ones which are more than 3 years anyways, they are non-bailable offenses. So here, what schools ought to know. Now, this is a very important slide. I urge you to go through it very, very carefully. because it has pointers on what you need to do if there is a crime. So far, we have talked about what those issues are and what are the punishments, what are the laws in the country to deal with those issues. But what should you do if there is a crime? So if there is a crime, then you need to report it on the crime portal, which is National Cyber Crime Portal, which is cybercrime.gov.in. There are helplines 1098 1930 1090 112. Report them. And then report it also to the social media network if it involves that network. Objectionable content needs to be removed in 24 hours, especially if it is obscene in nature. Then reporting it on the complaint button on the website of NCPCR, that's also another aspect which a lot of education institutions need to understand. And collecting the evidence, the date, the time of incident, writing short summary on it, and taking advice of a cyber law expert, and then identify, you can keep the identity of the child secret. You can identify what are the important electronic evidence and collate them all in a file, collect them all. And then depending on the nature of the crime, advise the child on what rights exist. The parents can be also educated on civil and criminal remedies. Now, what happens in a civil remedy? If a child is defamed, for instance, you can ask for court to pass a restraint order, that is against the person who has uploaded that content, so that he not only removes that content, but he never puts anything else like that in the future. You can actually get that order from the court. The blocking of websites can be sought, and compensation can be also sought for the damage caused to the reputation of the child. Then in criminal remedies, a crime case can be registered by the police, and then investigation will follow. Often in these trainings, the question comes, what if the child is himself committed a crime? It's not an adult. So in those scenarios also, there are, POCSO provisions where children who are in conflict with law, children who are in need of care, those aspects have been dealt with in the POCSO law and Juvenile Justice Act in the country. There, a child who is not committed a heinous crime can be tried like, a child in JJ Act. But if it's a heinous crime, he'll be treated like an adult. This is after the Nirbhaya case, follow up from there. And that's the changed law in the country. Now, for certain offenses, both civil criminal remedies lie, and you can keep the child's identity secret. Again, I'm saying so because a lot of parents or teachers or school, they feel that their reputation will be damaged if they report it, but that's not the case. You can opt for keeping the identity secret, and that is in fact mandatory even under POCSO law. Now, what schools need to do is, yes, mitigation. So if a particular damage has been caused, if there is supposedly a ransomware attack or otherwise, we've seen even institutions like AIMS have suffered from it. So education institutions are less vulnerable to such attacks. Then one needs to have backups of all your relevant data and save the electronic evidence, contact the forensic expert or cyber law expert, if there is a kind of an incident of this nature, reporting abuse on the concerned website. Often, these websites also have a report abuse button or a public grievance officer where you can report these crimes and there will be immediate resolution of the problems. In many of the payment apps, when there are QR code scams or fake shopping mall scams or other kind of, scams using a particular platform, one needs to immediately report to the bank, to report to the payment app or a particular website to carry out an investigation and stop this person from further duping other people. So that's also important to report abuse. Then lodging complaint, I did say on the reporting portal, and seeking the help of legal aid cells. That's for free legal aid, even that is possible. And putting the child in touch with a child psychologist, having a counselor in the school, engaging with children for their problems, installing proper antiviruses, anti-spyware and filters is important. and introducing clubs for cyber awareness, workshops and trainings, and reporting should be encouraged. One needs to report the cybercrime. So this slide basically puts, into perspective, what are the various internet filtering apps. There are so many apps, which one can use these days, and few of them are mentioned here. A number of them may also have some free tools available. Some are paid. So it depends which ones you would want to use, but those are good, reliable apps. And there are some child-friendly search engines which can be specifically used on the internet. And one can safely use YouTube Kids and other search engines can also be used. ISP-based solutions can also be used. So they are, within a particular ISP or internet provider, service provider, you have protocols, filters, you can put that setting. Even at the router level, the Wi-Fi level, it can be made secure. So there are various monitoring softwares apart from these usual, filtering mechanisms. You can use to monitor social media on a real-time basis, where red flags and alerts are sent to a parent or, if authorized to a teacher, or a guardian, if there are some objectionable messages or something alarming put on a child's profile page or otherwise. So that's something that we regularly see are being in usage these days. Now, when we talk about all these kinds of best practices, now this brings us to what should be the best practices. How should we tell our children to use internet, and what should be the do's and don'ts? So in a nutshell, the key tips are that one needs to be very careful of what names you're using on social media and what attachments one opens or links which one clicks online. And if there is a problem, one needs to report it. What is the URL in which payment is being made? It should have a lock HTTPS on the URL address bar. Maintaining the backups, good antivirus and anti-spyware practices, keeping strong passwords and using password managers. Those are some important things. And if you want to keep your identity secret, or if it's a personal searching that you're doing for your own personal purposes, you don't want people to have a web history saved on your device. A lot of time people use VPNs, Tor or other such possible tools. So that is also possible, but however, it should be only used for ethical reasons. Then using virtual keypads when using any kind of banking or otherwise, payment activity. Then discarding any old phone, one has to be careful. It should be a 0 level formatting, because if it's simply delete button, that will not do. There is still a lot of data which is in the old phone, which criminals misuse to actually pick up from the e-waste markets or otherwise. And they misuse that information and later on cause problems to the children or otherwise. Then often children want to safeguard their pictures. There was once a case I was dealing with where children had one or two girls had used a particular cloud saving platform to save their personal pictures. Now those were sort of obscene in nature, and with that, it was very difficult to delete them later on, because earlier what was seen was that they put it thinking that this will only be for private viewing, but they forgot to put the settings of private me only viewing feature, that is the user only viewing feature, and that went viral. So those had to be taken down, and by that time obviously the damage was to some extent done. So a lot of children use new things and new technology and tools without reading the terms and settings and conditions. That is important to educate them, that one must be very careful of what you're using and how you're using it. So clicking off selfies or videos, again, posting something which you don't want others to see, or even sharing it with somebody in confidence should not be encouraged. So that's something we always say. And then we also talk about, how they can express themselves online. So if they want to express themselves, not using abusive language, not invading others' privacy, checking who they're talking to, checking downloads for viruses, and not disclosing their sensitive personal data, communicating with strangers cautiously. These are certain best practices we obviously advocate. Now, as I was also mentioning the POXO button, so this is the screen of that NCPCR POXO button, e-box button we call it. That's also a useful tool. And many times, when we are educating children about online safety, we use illustrations and posters, to depict all these things, which your schools also can create, just on your notice boards. I think that will catch a lot of attention, rather than just circulating something which is in an email and giving them the do's and don'ts. I think if you even spread this word in the primary and middle school or secondary education, high school education, it really has a great impact. So using, illustrations, calling experts for talks, encouraging children in the clubs to discuss their problems with their counselor. Those are the kind of things which will encourage them to come forward, and share their concerns. Often, children are scared to discuss these things, but slowly the trend is changing. And I'm part of POXO committees or otherwise, school education committees where not only do we look at the policy aspect of having the right IT policy, but spreading awareness through interactions. And some of these interactions are so important that even parents are not aware. So when there's a PTA or otherwise, if there's a one session, 15-minute session or so, it educates them and it's an eye opener, because a lot of these issues are going unnoticed. And if one tackles them at the right time, we are helping prevention of crime. So a lot of children become aware, and they have the right set of toolkit, I would say, right set of norms to tell them that this is not something that we must do. So if tomorrow they find a message or tomorrow they find an issue with their profile, they know exactly what is to be done, which is so empowering for a child, or for that matter for any internet user. So this is the reason why I'm emphasizing that we must educate them on all these practices, or best practices we call it, for netiquette and safety. There are many tools and resources available, and I've also authored several books on this cyber law. In case you'd like to go through Amazon books, you can type my name and you'll come across various titles. The most important for this particular workshop is protection of children on the internet. There is a book on computers, internet, new technology laws. There's a YouTube channel called Cyber Law India. There have been apps on cyber awareness, which we created by Lex Cyberia, which is another organization of ours. There are books on AI, liability of intermediaries, protection of privacy, and other issues, which you can all go through. There's plenty of material. We've also done toolkits, legal toolkits on cybercrime and cyber safety for various governmental bodies. And those are useful resources to understand, these issues in more detail. Now, this is the latest book which was released this year, and has a lot of information on various issues of internet and cyber safety. You can go through that if you'd like to have it in your library for the benefit of children. And probably from excerpts from the same can be circulated, relevant educational materials. NCERT has a huge resource base itself, and I'm happy to be involved in a lot of their excellent ventures. So there is plenty of material available in terms of educating children today. You can go through all this. And this brings me to a quiz time. Basically, I wanted you to think of these terms and see how many of you can understand the meaning of this thing. We've talked about phishing, for instance, where financial crimes, it could be a link, it could be an SMS, which will lure children into sharing any financial data. And once shared, like even an OTP, then it is account is compromised and financial loss may occur in such scenarios. Smishing is the same thing but using an SMS. Wishing is again the same thing using a VoIP like a conference app or a voice over internet protocol. I've also explained during the presentation, sexting or cyberbullying, trolling, and bot is a robotic attack. It's a robotic attack. And these terms will be very familiar to you by now, but steganography is an interesting term where a file may appear to be like a music file, but inside it may be hidden, another file. Those kind of techniques are also used by cyber criminals today. And they often use anonymous proxy servers to hide their real identities. So these are the kind of, nomenclature we see in cyber jargon, we see. And I know this workshop, we have close to 359, teachers being trained today. I didn't think there's a one-to-one interaction possible from the point of view of having a quiz, but this will be useful for you to have when you're training further or you're educating other people. Use these terms and ask them questions about how they understand these terms, So, and you can go through a lot of multiple questions as well. For example, you can ask, is phishing a financial crime? And obviously the answer here is true. So likewise, is it mandatory to report POXO cases? Yes, it is mandatory, to report POXO cases. And punishments for various, crimes like child pornography is up to 5 years. Answer is yes, both under POXO and IT Act. So this way you can go through various MCQs, which you can, develop even otherwise from the different aspects we've covered today. Those will be very, very engrossing, and I think the children will find it fascinating. Because they are aware of these terms. A lot of them already know what is revenge porn or what is sexting, and certain times will be surprised, but they are well ahead and aware of the new trends and the new attacks also prevalent on the web. So it's important to discuss these with them. Another concept we often come across is the onion routing concept, which is like a peel of an onion, one layer after the other, one layer after the other. A criminal hides his real identity, and that can be seen on the dark web. So he will hide his IP addresses, so IP address is hidden, and it is very easy to, camouflage. So one after the other, but then you can, go back and track the particular IP, and though it's something which will require sophisticated investigation to do the same. So with these words, I want to end the presentation today. We will now, leave the floor open for questions and discussions. So any kind of issues in the chat window, you can put your questions, or I think Dr. Angel is here. She will know how to best proceed on the interaction front. Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of questions which is coming in the chat box, ma'am. So we can take up like one by one.
Yes.
So there is first question is like, what does dark web means? Because that's a term we keep hearing, but not very clear about. So if you can little bit brief on it, so that, because there is most of us not technical in this.
Yes. So dark web, when we say dark web, it basically means that, you're hiding your real identity and the IP is not clear. So one hides, like I was explaining, the onion routing concept that is being very heavily used in the dark web, where the real IP address is camouflaged, it is hidden, and one garbs a fake identity. So there will be a wrong IP showing, it will be a wrong location showing. And one after the other, there will be camouflaging at various levels. Now, if that happens, that is usually known as onion routing and is part of the whole dark web concept. And it's very, very rampantly used for illegal activities. On the dark web, we see a lot of illegal activity happening purely for the reason that there is a lot of anonymity associated with the dark web.
Thank you, ma'am. And I'm just checking up some other questions. So we can also take like 5 questions on based on a hand raise. So whoever would like to ask some very specific questions. So if you can put your virtual hand, we can take up 5 questions.
Yes.
Through hand raise. Yeah, CBSE Vasudha, ma'am. You can unmute yourself. Just Vasudha, ma'am, your mic is not first connected. So for me to help you to unmute. So please ensure your mic is active. Yeah, CBSE Manoj Ji, you can unmute yourself, please.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah.
This session was very informative. I just wanted to ask one question to madam.
Yes.
Nowadays the people, they want to save their time and everything. So they are being asked for the eKYC at each and every place. So is this eKYC safe or not?
It depends, first of all, why somebody is asking you for the eKYC and what they're asking for. Because if it's a biometrical data that you are supposed to share, obviously you have to be cautious of why somebody is asking and whether he's authorized to ask. But a number of cases, eKYC is being asked for. For example, in the new telecom bill also, there's a discussion on this, that anybody who goes to, say, purchase or subscribe to a phone will need to give his ID documents, and the subscriber also will have to go through the KYC check. So the provider of the phone service also has an obligation now under the new telecom bill that they will be checking the KYC. They'll be adopting KYC. So these are some new norms, which we will see in our tech industry to curb cybercrime only. So the objective and the motive may be very, very genuine, but it really depends how many safeguards are being adopted and why a particular agency is asking and what kind of eKYC are they asking for.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we have like Preeti Saxena ji. Preeti Saxena. Okay, ma'am, you can unmute yourself, please.
Good afternoon, ma'am. It was really a very nice session. Ma'am, I have few queries on regarding cyber safety itself. The first question I have is that the students, they want to know that what are the do's and don'ts. Because the fact is that even some of the students are totally unaware, wherein some are actually more aware. The problem is the ones who are not using these things, once we educate them, then also they try, because it's a kind of, they have a query in their mind that what actually happens. So there has to be a line where we need to stop and tell them, okay, till here you can do, but not beyond this. So I wanted to know certain do's and don'ts which we can tell to our students so that they don't come across any kind of such problems in their life later on.
Yes, so the best way to do this is to tell them about these best practices I've shared with you. But tell them that you can only, if you want to understand these concepts better, you can research or you can read about them, but don't indulge in any illegal activity yourself. Because only to play mischief, if they're doing that, there are legal implications. And if you tell them about the deterrent provisions which we have in our law, for example, I said, if you're creating a morph clip and harming somebody else's reputation, like a child's reputation, you're creating pornography clip or anything else for that matter, then there are consequences, and there are dire consequences. So child can also, even if he is 18, less than 18 years old, he will be or she will be deemed to be committing an offense. And for that, there are punishments, there is a legal process which follows. So when you tell them these things, they will not take it lightly. That is what I'm trying to explain. And also must tell them where they transgress the line. For example, if somebody doesn't have an intention to harm another person and just wants to play a prank, is a different matter altogether. But if that action of theirs causes any kind of negative, effect on the other person, obviously this is something which will be taken up, as a legal recourse. So intention is important, but one can also see the compensation can also be attracted in such cases where damages to a reputation of a person is concerned. So depending on what the incident is, there are legal implications.
Right. Ma'am, I have one more question.
Ma'am, just one question, if we can take one person so that it helps us to give opportunity for others. Just to add with Karnika, ma'ams, like we will be introducing the resources which NCERT has developed for, like as you are asking, we wanted to tell do's and don'ts. So we have created materials which you can take printouts and paste it in your rooms and all. You can also print it and share it, or digitally you can share it. So in the next session, we'll also be sharing about all the resources developed, where you can access it, what you can do with that. So that is also one thing. Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. And from Arunachal Pradesh, Lok Bahadur Tapa. Sir, can you unmute yourself?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah. By the side, attendance link has been already put in the chat box. I request all of you to just mark the attendance as well side by side when we are taking up the questions. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, Looks. Bahadur, sir.
My question is regarding the cyber crime. One of our student, he posted something in Instagram regarding our principal, sir. Our principal, he posted and he created a fake WhatsApp Instagram, and he posted so many vulgar things on the Instagram, and he posted to the students. So we launched a complaint on cyber crime branch of our state. So after 6 months, the boy was caught. But when it came when we came to what are the laws under which we can punish that boy, but he's underage. He's juvenile. He's not 18 years.
Juvenile
so
Justice
later
Act.
nothing was done. And the police also nothing could be done because there was no juvenile home also in our district. We have to go to capital. So in that case, can you suggest what to do and what are the laws? Because we are not aware regarding this all these kind of laws, what to do when the crime is committed by juvenile students, because sometimes they do this kind of things.
Okay, so in such kind of cases, if there's a proper legal investigation which follows, there are for example, offenders who are sent to observation homes also. They are sent for rehabilitation, for basically educating them about these offenses, and that they understand the gravity of what acts they have committed, and there's a reform. Basically, the objective is to reform them and get them back into the mainstream. So it's not that the law doesn't apply to them. It's just that they are treated like a child in conflict with law, which has little lesser, I would say, consequences in terms of deterrence than trying an adult in a court of law. So that is different. But however, a crime is a crime. So there is a legal process which follows. And that should have been the case if that investigation followed its proper course. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
CBSE Vasudha, madam, you can just open your mic.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. I had a question about reporting a crime by the student himself or herself. Sometimes they don't reach out to adults. So is there an online portal where the child himself or herself can quickly report about, such
Of
abuse?
course. Yes. Very rightly put. This is important because children sometimes don't want to discuss it with anybody else. And there have been cases that I've dealt with where a child himself has written mails to me to explain that he has reported the crime or she has reported the crime. In one of the cases, the girl was victim of stalking, and she had been stalked by a boy with, trigger of webcam also in her phone, and she knew that she was being watched. So this was reported by her anonymously also on the cybercrime.gov.in, and then later on she got a call from the concerned IO from the concerned police station, who investigated into this particular aspect or case, and then the boy was finally caught also, and proceedings followed in the case. So you can tell the children that they can very well report any kind of incident anonymously also, even if they don't want to share their name, on the National Cybercrime portal. And the most rampant cases that I have dealt with happen to be either of fake profile handles, or trolling, or stalking, or sexual harassment and cyber pornography. And the latest crimes which I've also dealt with is the QR code scams, where children have been victim of some QR code aspects and problems. So this are few areas which are grave, areas, and children have started being proactive and reporting crime on this portal now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Any other question?
That's all. There is another question. We'll take a question from Telangana Prabhahar sir. Can you please unmute your mic, sir?
Madam, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's an informative session we had this day. Very fortunate one we are. Madam, a small not query, a request. Is there any possibility to prevent some unwanted sites in particular area or educational institutes area? Why? Because if they access also, that sites does not open. Is there any that type of possibility?
Yes, of course. I did mention there are some filtering tools on every device. You can have that age appropriate content only show up in libraries and educational institutions, or otherwise for classroom teaching. There are filtering tools, software also available, hardware also available on your router level itself. It will block all sorts of content which is not right for their age. So you can educate parents also. And there are, rightly put, there are laws, or not just in India, but across the world, talking about such filtering mechanisms. And they are adopted on their own, even by parents, teachers, and educational institutions. So put those filters, both at the hardware and software level. These are possible solutions, and they are being very helpful in curbing cybercrime. Any other question?
I'm sorry. In between, I have got a call from John. We have a question from Achintya, CBSE Achintya Kumar Achal. Sir, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, can you once again explain the meaning of a stenography, ma'am?
Yes.
I didn't understand that time, ma'am.
Okay. So every file has a file extension. For example, Microsoft Word, you can see .docx or DOC in an extension. So sometimes, it might be an image file, for example, .jpg. So it will show as if this is a JPG itself. But if you change the extension, you can actually open a file in another format. It can be, saved as a hidden file. It may appear like an image, but it is something else. So if you change the extension, you can view the file in the other format, and that is known as steganography. It is concealment of a real nature of a file. Since I am with, in educating a lot of law enforcement, bodies, I have seen such files where technical tools can be used to hide their real nature, and there will be something else behind it. Yeah, that's the concept of steganography.
Thank you. Sikkim Nima Dorji, ma'am, you can unmute yourself.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
Yes.
Achintya.
Am I audible? Yeah, okay. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Is it legal to practice ethical hacking? If yes, the steps taken by our government.
Yes,
Is it legal to practice it? Yes.
absolutely. It is ethical. In order to be very vigilant on what is happening, in your organizations, and you got a foolproof system of firewalls and other safeguards, not only country as a nation, But any institution needs to have their ethical practices to put those tools and infrastructure in order. So tools like DLP, data loss prevention software, tools like firewalls, putting those right checks and balances, essential. They're essential. Anti-spyware, antiviruses, and if there is a testing done. Sometimes there are deliberately fake links sent internally in an organization to see how much is the quotient of understanding in the employees, and they may gullibly open a link which is suspicious. So social engineering attacks have to be avoided. Those kind of operations are conducted only for the reason that these practices fall under the ethical hacking and ensure that the organization is robust in terms of not only infrastructure but also behavioral patterns of people. So it is completely legal, absolutely legal to have ethical hacking. It should not be for malintention purposes or any wrong illegal purposes. That is the only thing.
The next person having a question is from Sikkim Nima Dorji.
Yes.
Sikkim, madam, are you able to unmute yourself? Yeah. Ma'am, the permission has been
Hello.
given. For
Yes,
you
ma'am.
to- Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Yes.
Second question, ma'am.
Yes.
Steps taken by our government for ethical hacking. Is there any?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so I am an advisor to the CERTIN, which is the Computer Emergency Response Team and the Ministry of IT. There are a lot of steps which we take not only from the point of view of policy measures, where we come up with new laws and policies and rules to further cyber awareness in the country, and for the framework of laws as such. But also there are white papers and trainings given from time to time. Those educate people on various quarters. They in fact tell the people of what are the risks and threats which are prevalent in online. So even during pandemic, if you recall, there was issues with some video conferencing apps. Those were highlighted by the ministry and those were patched later by those service vendors. So it is a system, it has a system which alerts public on what are the critical lacuna in those softwares or those technologies, and compliances are made, So there's a fraud attack committed on a company, for example, they have to report it to CERTIN, and the CERTIN takes action, whether it's a critical infrastructure involved or otherwise. Those are the norms which are there. And for ethical hacking, they have very strong, I would say, base in terms of resources, as well as the white papers on how ethical hacking has to be done. And they not only safeguard their own organizations and governmental bodies, but also educate others, other organizations on how they can adopt ethical hacking practices for the basically avoiding of any kind of incidents of cybercrime. Yes.
I think Sikkim Nima ma'am, this question is asked. I'm not seeing you unmuting yourself.
Okay.
Nima ji. Yeah, NVS Shafi. So we will take 2 more questions after Shafi, sir, and that will stop. Yes, Shafi. Yeah. Please, sir. Please, sir. Go ahead.
Madam, I am from JNV. I have a question. Madam, ours is a residential system. So, use of mobile phone is totally banned in our campus by the students. But sometimes students bring the mobile phones and they have the habit of watching objectionable sites. Can we block these objectionable sites in our campus? Is there a system?
Yes, you can do that. If they're using school Wi-Fi, it can be done at that level itself, the router level itself. But if they're using their own mobile data, for instance, those kind of issues will have to be monitored. There are many gadgets which school themselves provide, for instance, where they have blocked certain pages from opening because the devices have been enabled in such a way. But if they're getting their own handsets that using their own mobile data, they can freely really, look at these sites. But what you can do is you can block.
Secretly, they bring their own mobile phones, madam.
Sorry.
Secretly, they bring their own mobile
Yes.
phones.
So you need to have disciplinary action taken against such students, because once you leave a deterrent example, then the others have, they'll be thinking twice before committing any kind of crimes. That's why what we do, we help schools create those IT policies in place, and there is a proper disciplinary action taken if a child violates that. And despite the guidelines, if a child is doing that, there could be suspension, there could be termination, extrication. So depending on what offense is there and how repetitive it is or how persistent
Yes,
it
we are
is.
doing that only.
Yes.
If we see the mobile, we do not return, and we suspend them also for few
You
days.
can also confiscate the phone.
All the
Of course,
parents
that goes. Yes, that is the way that you can control this, because
But there is
if they're using their own mobile data, then they can obviously surf the net.
But there is
And
no way, madam, to block the sites in our particular campus.
no, you can block. You can block at your own in your own intranet, in your own setting in your own campus. You can block through software as well as hardware. That is possible.
Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Safi sir. Last two more questions I wanted to take is Ishwara Chari. Ishwara Chari. Yes,
good
Lata
afternoon,
ma'am will
madam.
come last to you. Yeah. Yes,
Good
Ishwara,
afternoon,
Ishwar
madam.
sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yes, madam. Many times when we are applying for examination, we upload the students' photos to some websites where they offer to reduce photo size to KB, kilobytes.
Yes.
So is it okay to upload two such things? Is it safe?
Well, it is safe if it is for a legitimate purpose, but now wherever you have uploaded it, and if that is being misused, then obviously that's a criminal activity. So tracing who has done it and how it has been misused, that legal action follows. But it's important to use your own software and tools as far as possible, and not upload it on general websites to get the smaller size of the pictures. That you can maybe have a paid software or a reliable free software. Right? And I mean, it's not advisable to randomly just go to any website which allows this activity and use those services, because they may be phishing websites, or they may be fake websites or criminal websites.
Yes, madam. Because most of the schools do this task every year, madam, for applying for
Yes.
NMS or board examination. So
Correct.
this, I think, the board should consider this and provide some kind of software to reduce.
They can
photo
recommend
size.
some credible tools
Yes,
for the
madam.
same, rather than
Yes, madam.
children using randomly any website they encounter on search engine.
Most of the schools do this, madam.
Yes.
Sir, as you are
Thank you.
aware, there is a country's way forward to bring digital registry for every student and teacher. And as part of the India complete digital ecosystem, the country is working to have a complete registry. So once the registry comes in, you will not be expected to upload this kind of photographs only once in your complete life cycle of a student cycle of a child, they will upload the data. So how to safeguard that data and all the things are being worked out in the country. So we need to wait for some new things going to come in based on all these aspects.
Dr. Angel, we already using DigiLocker also. You know
Yes,
how the
and there is a question
the
as
board
well.
results also were submitted.
Kanika ma'am, there is a question in how safe is DigiLocker to say add all our documents. There is a question in the chat box as well.
Well, it's absolutely safe, and that's the reason why even board results were circulated through that. And it's one of the most safe platforms available. All the ID documents, including your driving license or otherwise, even Aadhaar, we can safeguard and put it in the same. And there's a proper KYC check which allows such access, and it is robust in terms of protection. So I think one can safely use it.
Thank you, ma'am. Telangana Ashok sir. Telangana Ashok sir.
I know
Madam,
there is paucity of time. We may not take all questions today, but you can, feel free to reach out to me and, or put your questions to Dr. Angel, who can forward me the same, or even directly write to me. I'll be more
Ma'am,
than
we
happy.
are actually planning, once the second phase is also over, all the
Okay.
group of master trainers will be in one group, where we
Yes.
will also take permission from the resource persons and add them, so that because we are planning to continuously support them, so this
Yes.
would be a kind of support system we are thinking. So we'll have
Surely.
one discussion with RPs and then we will be enrolling them into it.
Very well. I think there's one more question.
Yeah, Telangana Ashok sir.
Madam, good afternoon, madam.
Yeah, please. Sir.
Madam, in our school, one girl child got some abuse text message, madam.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
How can we solve that, madam? Where should we have to complain them?
So whichever platform that she has received that on, it can be any social media network, you need to write to the public grievance officer of that platform, explaining what has happened and giving proof of the same. So they are supposed to remove that within 24 hours if it is objectionable content. And you can also report abuse. There's a button on every social media platform, or mostly they have it. And you can report that as well. So this is the fastest mechanism that is available. Plus, you can, if you want, you can also lodge a police complaint, as I've said, on the National Cybercrime Portal. But one must write to the social media platform itself, because they also have an obligation. They rather have an obligation to delete such content and monitor their content out.
Okay, madam. Thank you very much.
Just to add your point, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Since Ashokji is from Telangana, so like you also can freely approach the women's safety wing. So like
Yes.
where in Telangana you have an excellent women's safety wing. They are very proactive. So especially in any cases, you can approach them. They will be able to support you. I think recently, I think one of the KV Ramagundam also, I'm sorry, like we should not name them. So like in that particular school, something has happened and they're able to resolve the entire issue within no time. So where like we all together.
There are helplines too. Even 112 is there, and other there are various helplines available for that. 1930 is also there, and women, safety boards. They are there in every state. You can even contact like you have the National Commission for Women. There are other organizations, pre-legal aid committees, state authorities which support such calls, and they will help you and get a proper speedy redressal of their rights.
Yeah. Kanika ma'am, do you have time to take 2 more questions or?
Very well.
Because,
we'll just quickly finish them.
Right,
Yes.
because we'll take a quick question so that this is the last technical session.
Yes.
Like Mrinal sir from CBSE. Mrinal sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Okay, ma'am, is there any term like cyber security insurance, or is it so? Is our cyber security insurance policy appropriate to our end of risk, like what we are discussing here?
Yes,
for the
absolutely.
or...
Cyber insurance is a growing field now, and increasingly, educational institutions also are adopting this insurance, practices, because they want to safeguard their directors, their institution against any kind of, cybercrime activities. And it's important to, have this insurance. But there are many insurance companies who do not provide, insurance to cover certain acts. For example, if there is a server downtime or there's a hacking activity where the educational institution also is at in terms of joint contributory negligence, those kind of cases. So it really depends, but having nothing is not advisable. Cyber insurance does protect some shield and give some cover.
Okay, so we can adapt them in school level.
Yes,
also.
yes, absolutely. There are many companies I know which have done that, and a lot of our clients we have advised, and they've very happily taken on those services. There are lots of good insurance companies doing the same.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Last question we'll take from Lata ma'am. Ma'am, you can unmute.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Ma'am, my question is like, as heads of the institutions, many of times we are forced to share the personal details of our students with different agencies. For example, right now we are going for a program with Harvard University. So the agency is demanding us to share all the mobile numbers and the mail IDs of the students, individual students. So we are in a dilemma, like we want to take up this program, but at the same time, we are supposed to share the data. So what should be done in such cases?
No, in such cases, you have to take a consent, because now there is a law in the country where data and privacy have to be safeguarded. Especially if it is children data, they are not eligible to give legal consent. So their parents and their guardians are the ones who will be giving the consent. And you need to have very strong confidentiality agreement with the school that you're talking about, Harvard School, to sign an airtight contract with them. So we regularly, help out in such contract draftings also. And this is important for all education institutions to understand that whenever they're sharing any data, which is sensitive data with any vendor or any other institution, they have to have a proper legal contract saying when, what data is being given, for what purpose it will be used, for how long it will be kept, and what safeguards will it keep to maintain that data. Lots of other things go into it. So that can be done.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. And there is still more hands raised, and then there are so much questions coming up. But keeping the time in view, we'll not be able to extend the questions. But however, all the questions we will, as I have discussed, like at the end of these 2 phases, we will be compiling all the questions coming up. And then with the answers, all that will be circulated within the next week, because we have Monday, Tuesday also the next phase of training. So once it's complete, we are planning to do. So on behalf of CIT, NCERT and ISA CDAC, I thank Dr. Kanika Seth for sparing her time and to orient all of us with this particular aspect of cyber safety, which is a little unknown area for us. So thank you so much, ma'am. And there is a lot of appreciations for this program from all the participants as well, because for some of them, this is the first time exposure to this area. But some of them are already resource persons in this area. For them, it is an enrichment program. For those who have never done or heard, this is first an introduction to them for a personal use. So, and this legal aspect would be for many of us, like even though there are people who are resource persons, this is one area very less explored by teachers. So thanks for putting into a very smaller snippets and then giving in a very simpler manner. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure, in fact, and I express my gratitude to the NCERT team, entire team, Dr. Behra, Dr. Angel, and the way they are conducting this whole program, the master training program. It's a privilege to be a part of the same. And I'm so glad to interact with each one of you today. You've been great listeners. And I know the topic itself is so vast that one cannot possibly cover in one session, but I've tried to do justice to the role. And I look forward to many more engagements and interactions with you all. All the best for this entire workshop and program. And I hope you derive good information out of it and help circulate this word out. And a lot of children who will benefit from it, a lot of teachers, the whole community. And I'm thankful for this opportunity to be able to help you in this whole mission and exercise. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
I just wanted to tell that, like in the chat box, many of you are writing thank you. If I can request all of you to stop for a while, because I know there were ups and downs in filling your attendance, though we have already marked. So I've given the attendance link. I request everyone to just stop. There is one more session for us to give thanks to our NCERT team. So kindly wait. So no need to finish it off, because I'm just putting the link, and because of the thank you message, it's getting lost. So let's help each other. Most of you have filled your attendance properly, but due to some technical issues, some of you had difficulties. So we have given all the form links here, and we will be now, Himansi, have you opened it? Kept open for receiving?
No, ma'am. Should I open it now?
Yeah, please open it. So we will.
Dr. Angel, may I take your leave now?
Yes, yes, Kanika ma'am.
Thank
And
you
if you
so much.
have time for 15, you can join for a few minutes, like when we will be trying to consolidate. If you have time, it's not a man.
Yes, but I have another session to
Yes,
speak
yes.
at.
Yeah.
Kindly excuse me for that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, please wait. Actually, we are opening all the link. Okay, we will give, this is just to help out whoever has genuinely attended, and session 5 we have posted during the break. That's our mistake. So we wanted to just help people. If you have really attended the session, kindly fill. Otherwise, don't mark attendance, because we will not just go by this. We will be cross-checking your attendance in the technically recorded attendance also.
Okay.
So for session 1, there is no attendance to be filled, because that was manually we have checked and called and then fixed. So please, I request one has support from everyone. Can you please stop putting message in the chat box? Until you all cooperate, it's not going to help. And I request everyone not to post this link in the Telegram group. You can see in the Telegram group around 410 participants are there, and we are only 345 here attending the session. And you are helping people who are not attending to fill the sessions. So I request everyone, because I'm again and again writing in the Telegram group, but some of you are reposting again and again the attendance link. You are not permitted. It is not a good, ethically accepted one to post something which is not permitted to you. So this attendance sheet is not permitted to anybody to share anywhere. Kindly do not do that. So if you have already submitted, you don't need to submit. This is one thing. If you have already submitted attendance, don't submit. Don't think that whether it would have got it, I will redo it. Don't do that. If you missed it, if you have not done it, only do it. So I will put the link only if all of you stop messaging in the chat box. I request everyone to please stop messaging in the chat box. Yeah. So don't put any other message. You are not in the Telegram group. Don't put now, because it's not going to be addressed now. So kindly please stop putting messages in the chat box, so that I will just share only the links. Himanshi, the moment you are ready, allowed permissions, please let me know so that I can share it once again.
Yes, ma'am. All the forms are open now.
Yeah. So I'm repeating, please listen to the instruction, because you're not listening, and then some of you are really wasting your time as well, putting messages only. So the thing is, session 1, Suganya ma'am, you're putting a message which is not going to be read, and it is not going to be supported. So if you're putting the so I request everyone, please wait. Right now, we are only addressing the issue of attendance. If you're putting, I'm not in a Telegram, I'm going to miss your message. We will not be able to support you, right? So only thing is, session 1, there is no attendance to be marked by you. We have already marked, physically checking one by one, manually checking, and we have marked our attendance. And whoever was not present, we have tried calling to them one by one. So session 1, which was taken, the very first session, is not to be recorded. Okay. Session 2, there is a session 2 to 7 onwards. Yesterday, 3 sessions, and today 3 sessions. There is a complete attendance sheet I posted in the chat box. Number 1, if you have already marked the attendance, don't fill it again. By chance, due to technical issue or some reason, you missed the link for filling the attendance, make use of this time. And the attendance sheet now, it's already in my time, it's 3:41. At 4 o'clock, all the form will be closed. So within that 4, if you have not filled any session on this, please kindly fill your attendance. Okay. So this is the instruction for now. So now let's take a break. Let's be back at, we will take a 15 minutes break, and then we will join back at 3:55. So 3:55, we will start the session. So 3:55, when you're joining, if you're not in the Telegram group, at that time, please, you can put your number. We will parallelly address from afternoon. Whoever has given the numbers, we have already added you. Please kindly check. Okay. So that will be helpful. And the last session is very important for us to close. So we have all learned few things. What are we going to do is what we are going to discuss, and also a valedictory and the final assessment related announcements also. And the certification related announcements will be there. So I request all of you to take a break, join back at 3:55, right? Hello, ma'am.
Tulika, you are from which RIE? Can't hear you.
Northeast RIE.
Sorry? From Odisha?
No, Northeast, Shillong.
Okay, Northeast. Okay. I'm from Mumbai.
Good afternoon. From NERI, I came for one national seminar and I met Professor Madam Tulika Madam.
Okay, great.
NERI.
In RIE? And Mary is from which place? Hi, Mary. I'm Jyoti. Can't hear you.
Okay, madam. You are audible.
I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Jyoti ma'am. This is Kiran here.
Hello, I can't see you, but.
Yeah. Ma'am, I have some problem with little network issue since morning.
Yeah.
I have attended your workshop at Trinity School, ma'am, very recently.
I can't see your face.
My camera is not working, ma'am.
Okay. So this is almost done in the workshop that I did, right?
Let me try if I can do something.
Kiran ma'am.
Am I seen?
No, ma'am. Kiran ma'am, you are not seen.
Mary also had attended there.
Yes, ma'am. I was.
Your name looks very familiar.
Yes, ma'am. You dropped us near the station.
Yeah. Correct. That's what I was trying to think.
Madam, a small.
I was there.
Yes, Prabhakar.
This is going on YouTube live.
Doesn't matter. We are not talking anything wrong.
I'm
Kiran, yeah, now I can see you.
observing and not just.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Kiran. It's okay, Prabhakar. We are not talking anything wrong. We are just getting back to friendship circle.
Okay, madam.
You can also join us.
Not like that. Sorry.
I just did a workshop with them.
One feels very good seeing friends.
Yeah.
All the CBSE.
Yeah, I just had a workshop in
resist
that
saying
school
hello.
last month.
Yeah.
There I can see Insia also. Hi, Insia.
Hi, ma'am.
Insia's also there. Okay.
There.
We all were there, I think so. Insia.
Yeah, ma'am, you also.
Insia was there.
Yeah,
we
very
were
much.
there, yeah, for the training.
Yes, ma'am, of course.
Very much. True. So all this we had covered in the workshop, I think.
Yes.
No? It was fun last time.
You are mute, ma'am, perhaps. You are mute.
Okay.
Now we are audible.
I think the host has muted us.
Oh.
Because when the teacher was away, we were making noise.
Ma'am, you're audible now.
I said when the teacher is away, we were making noise. Prabhakar, you are from which place? Andhra.
Madam from Telangana state, madam.
Telangana.
Telangana. Madam, Khammam district.
Khammam district. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You are in which school?
Madam, in Jilla Parishad High School.
ZP.
As the PGT.
Okay. Computers you teach?
Madam, I'm one of the ICT SRJ, madam.
Okay.
Previously, you met Dr. Angel, madam, in RE Mysore.
Okay.
Digital Initiatives of Southern ICT SRJ. So we met.
Oh, the teacher has come back. Now we'll have to be quiet.
No. We wanted you to also interact. You have 5 more minutes.
I have met some of the teachers here. So it was a nice thing.
Actually, we give enough time in our other trainings at least to have some chat, but this is like a fast metro, more than a metro express. So we didn't give any time to break out or talk or anything. So we are randomly thinking to give we will be having a breakout session now so that like at least you meet 10 people within your group to know who all attended.
Angel, you were a strict teacher.
Thank you. Is it good or bad to be a strict teacher?
Sometimes think of both the students' point of view, it is bad. For the teacher's point of view, it is good.
But actually, good administrator.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Dr. Angel, madam, always explained with so much of patience, madam. So much of patience. Nice patience.
Please, sir, actually, it's okay if you are on mute on video, no issues. So we will just wait for another four minutes. But by this time, I'll take if there is anyone who is not yet added in Telegram, please put your number so that we will parallelly add.
Ma'am, I have a suggestion. We teach 11th and 12th. So my students mostly ask what after class 12. So if the well-learned people would guide us, that would be an added advantage so that many students can opt for cybersecurity and all these courses. which will be available for
Ma'am,
them?
this is one thing which is out of my area, but actually as on a personal interest. Yesterday, like in the last 2 days back, we had last Monday, we have signed an MOU with UNESCO. So during that time, I had a presentation, and at the end of the presentation, I met one person. He is from a Department of Forensic Sciences in university. So they were coming and telling, we never knew that school education has so many things they are doing digitally, which even our university is not doing. So what can we do? So that is how, like, I also keep getting connect with other people. So we are suggesting to run a live series from our TV channels in the next academic year on career guidance, so that we call experts like this to talk about what are the different scopes it is available and all that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So hopefully, I think that the series should run next year, though it's not my area.
Though we are in the Telegram, the things can be shared.
Sujata ma'am, if you can also open and give us little, because all RIEs are doing some regional institutes of education, are doing some area of career guidance. So ma'am, if you can give little bit inputs.
Yeah, good evening, Dr. Angel. Very nicely organized.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, all the RIEs of different regions, we do conduct diploma in guidance counseling, and Mr. Prabhakar Reddy is one of our products. So he has just completed last batch of guidance and counseling diploma. I think those who are in need, the schools, yes, it is need of our career guidance. I think they can contact the respective RIEs. They will be able to help, and many of the faculty will be able to conduct sessions for them.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sujata ma'am. Sujata ma'am is working in our Regional Institute of Education, Mysore. So all the regional institutes, which is there 5 in the country, Bhopal, Ajmer, Bhubaneswar, Mysore and Shillong, they are offering guidance and counseling course. Even at Delhi, there is the Department of Psychology Foundations is offering. So they are doing it. So if you are in need, you can always write to Regional Institute of Education principal. They'll be able to help you out. Yeah, right. Thank you so much, Sujata ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a nice program, ma'am. I have a little bit doubt that till now I didn't get back return mail of my registration. So is there any problem or is it okay?
Ma'am, have you joined the Telegram group?
Yes, already.
Okay. So if there is a problem, we will ask you, ma'am. Don't worry, because we are also running back to back for the whole day along with you. So we couldn't really cross-check. It was not possible for us because we are also a very small team of 3 people who are doing the work. So we couldn't immediately check it out, but we will be shortly helping you, checking everything, and then we will do it. Sure. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
If there is an issue, we will be actually asking the team for like what is the problem and all that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, which is the RIE for Delhi, ma'am? You said
it is in the middle, like it's NCERT main campus. Department of Psychology is there, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
We don't have an RIE for Delhi. Delhi is the central thing, but it's like all the northern states are related with Ajmer RIE.
Ma'am, with the RIs, do we also train counselors, psychological counselors, not career counselors?
No, they train on guidance and counseling, all aspects of guidance and counseling.
Okay.
That is a complete diploma course in which they give guidance and counseling training to in-service, and even there are many private persons who are joining. Privately also people join for the course. So on deputation, teachers join, in-service teachers joins, and then they do this diploma. It's in blended mode, I guess. Sujata ma'am, if you can just tell about the little program for 1 minute so that it helps them.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, this is Diploma Guidance and Counseling course. Actually, it is in a blended mode, as rightly pointed by Dr. Angel. People come here for 3 months of offline classes, and we actually take them for hands-on experiences given to them. They are asked to go to schools, and in between they come for any doubts that they have. So it is exclusively to prepare the role of a teacher, not just as a teacher, but also as a guidance counselor. So many of our teachers who come here, they're already doing the role of a guidance person, but not a counseling one. So we don't this course is not recognized by Rehabilitation Council of India. This is not meant for commercialization of something, or you can set up a counseling center. No, it is only for strengthening the hand of a teacher as not just a teacher, but also as a guidance counselor for his own students. So that is the purpose of this course. This is a 1-year diploma course, and all the RIs have this course, and it is in service, and very few seats are there as a pre-service course. Only maybe the private schools which are there, I think only issue would be 3 months deputation. They have to be on campus. I think that will be an issue with most of the schools, private schools, I suppose. Other than that, many of the KVS, NVS, and state governments are utilizing these services, and they are deputing their candidates to us. And for 1 year, they are with us, and they go back and they do internship on their own in different school under the guidance of the different faculty of RIs.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Why I was actually asking ma'am to explain this in the cyber safety session is, most of the guidance and counselors who have been trained by RIs are also giving guidance and counseling with respect to cyber safety issues. Because it's not just only a career guidance or anything, even they tell about how to manage your screen time. So there are safety tips, like they are doing live sessions in the TV channels every day under the name of Manodarpan. Then they are connected as counselors in the program. Over phone call, they are guiding students. So those who are trained under this, they are supporting as first level counselors and in the aspect of guidance also in terms of cyber safety as well. So that's one of the things that it was very relevant to this session. So we are coming to the last session now. So it's not a very formal session to start with. I have few announcements first and few information which is very important for us to carry. There is no technical learning in this session as such. So I request all of you to be please attentive to this particular instruction so that we can go ahead meaningfully. Though we have got actually the deputation for nearly 500 people, we could get only registration around 480 plus, and only 345 on us. Continuous manner they are attending these programs. When we cross check, it will come to know really who has attended complete all the sessions and all. But it is a good number even then to start with. This is the first program CIT is organizing as a national level. So just to give the background, though I have given on the first day, some of you were not there, so I'm just repeating to give. Now the cyber safety security is a national concern, and on an overall manner, if we see, there are lots of challenges, and we see the cyber crime being increased, like it's increasing every day with respect to children. So now it's a national concern, and the government of India also has come to a conclusion that there should be a lot of initiative in this regard to help children, and especially in this regard. So that is where under the Ministry of Home Affairs, there is a unit called I4C is already formed to take care of all these initiatives. Ministry of IT has this ISEA CDAC team, which is formed, and they are working in different parts, and especially ISEA CDAC, the team which is continuously working on cyber security and working at national level with the NCERT is at Hyderabad. So Jagdish Sir and all the team members who are coming from CDAC, like there are resource persons who are all working with them yesterday. Jagdish Sir is basically from ISEA CDAC, and he is the nodal person who is working with NCERT. And why I'm introducing him specifically is this resource training will be extending to states later on. So they are the ones who's going to support us continuously. So Jagdish sir and team is also there with us, who will be supporting from ISEA. Like this, like every ministry has started. So Ministry of Education also now it's working with all these ministries together to bring complete change. Whatever IT ministry brings in as a rule, we have to follow it in the school. Now, all our websites has to be W3 compliance has to be there. So there is an instruction, what safety measures has to be taken in our websites of the schools. It's an instruction and it's an order as well, that we need to follow all that in our school system. So those details are coming from Ministry of IT to Ministry of Education, which we are implementing. So similarly, now Cyber Jagruta Divas is an event. Basically, every first Wednesday, you are expected to do something in all your school, organization, state to create awareness among all the stakeholders of education. So this is initiated by the Ministry of Home Affairs and Ministry of Education is implementing. NCERT has already sent letter regarding this to all the states and also to all the autonomous organizations, to all our NCERT institutions, also to all RIEs, DMS and everything. But when we send the letter, the very first thing many people told us, what are we expected to do? What we have to do? Is there a particular guideline? Is there a particular capacity building that's going to happen? That is why this 2 days program was planned, at least to create the first level group at every state. Immediate support system to the state, immediate support system to the autonomous organization. When you wanted to plan something, is there anyone who has heard what is the national concern areas? So that is why we have holistically created this program, having this 8 sessions, like 7 technical sessions basically, which is talking about, which is most talking about all the aspects of cyber safety. Because in many states, something is going on, some organization also, some training is going on, but it is very skewed to one area, but not all the areas are covered. So that is why this program is covered to just first level to orient. These are the holistic thing which we have to see when we are talking about cyber safety. We are not expecting all of you to become overnight experts. That is very clearly we are communicating to all of you. We are not expecting all of you to become in overnight a superstar of cyber safety. I am also not a technical person. I am a maths education person. By somehow jumped into cyber safety awareness, and I'm working for 5 years. And when I heard this 2-day session, hardly I know 10% of what they spoke, right? And we are also not expecting all of you to know everything. Maybe one of you may have picked up, if you are a computer science teacher, you have understood all the aspect of technical part very clearly. Somebody who has inclination to this law, legal things, who would pick up easily those parts. Somebody who has strong values may be ready to speak on ethical. That is why we are making a group. So within your group, so that whichever is your inclination area, try to build yourself. That's all. I can speak better how safety can be taken in teaching learning, but technically to talk about, I can't speak, or legally to talk about. Legal is something which is my core disinterest area. So I won't even touch them. But the thing is, when somebody works together, some planning happens, something is coming to you. What is this? At least to understand, this orientation is conducted just to give an overall view. This is just a bird eye view. That cyber safety means not computer science person work. That is one thing which we wanted to re-insist to all of you. In most of the schools, you are aware, if anything happens, we think that it is IT person's work or computer science teacher's work, which is really not true. Because we are part and parcel, if not in school, personally also it affects. So that is one thing which we expected as an output of this session, is to just have an attitude change that I will also become one day, I'm also prone and I'm also vulnerable as a person to become prey to this kind of a threat. So I think in that we have tried achieving it, that all of you have recognized that you are also part of it, right? So that is number one. So second objective of this program is to give a bird view eye of cyber safety. We have given enough stuffs in this 7 days, and we have also shared all the presentations in 1-by-1 mode, but by evening we'll put everything in one folder and share it. And otherwise also all the recorded session is available in the YouTube channel as a playlist, which already we are sharing again and again. So that's the second thing, which is as a resource for immediately. Though you have listened 2 days, I don't think everything you understood. Everything is not in us. The moment tomorrow you go back, you will have 10 works in your school, 10 works in your organization. This will immediately take your backseat. This will not be in your mind to even recall. So we don't want that to happen. So that is one thing which we are sharing these resources. So please, all of you go through this so that it's at least next 1 week. Try to little bit spend time to visit this presentations and the videos, so that whatever you learned in a hurry in this 2 days, whatever did not understood, or you had some time like was not clear, or you had a technical clinch because of which you didn't attend, all that you can clarify yourself. So that's number 2 point, so that you at least this much minimum all of us have to be comfortable with, right? As part of this training, attendance, all of you have already given mark. Himansi, I think you have closed all the attendance now. So no more attendance will be accepted. And we have also recorded. So immediately somebody was asking when I will get a relieving order for going and joining. We will send a relieving order by tomorrow, but not the certificate of participation. Certificate of participation will be sent based on certain assessment. Number one, your attendance. Some of your marked attendance that's already getting tallied, and it will be tallied with your technical attendance in Zoom also, and your participation in the activities as well. Like, so those things will be tallied, and based on that, we will be making the attendance final. So what we are expecting is to just help each other. We will be seeing at least 80% of attendance, whoever has will be eligible to clear attendance. Number one. Second thing of evaluation is morning, you have all done a first assessment. We gave you little time yesterday to go through, and today first assessment was conducted. So morning there was 2 observations, 2 questions are wrong. So those 2 questions are corrected. We know that our options is great, but we saw that 99% of the people have given correct answer to that. That's a great news. So we have reset the answers, and we have retallied all the values as well. So your marks will be, if you have given the correct answer to those 2 questions, you will get +2 marks of whatever it showed. If you have answered a wrong question, wrong answer, which we fixed as correct answer, then you will get -2. That's all. Okay. We will be taking as 70% of your score, but I understood that there were many people who couldn't score much. There are people who have scored only 33%. Below 50%, there is more than 30% of the people who have scored less than 50%. Don't worry about it. This is a formative assessment. The one which we did is just a formative assessment. We were thinking to do the final assessment today at 4:30. But we started getting so many individual messages.
Summative assessment, madam.
The final assessment for certification, summative assessment, was supposed to be done at 4:30. But most of the people have sent an individual message saying, it was only just now we listened. If you give assessment, we will again fail. Please don't give us some time to go through the content again. Then give us an assessment. That's what is a request we have received, at least 1 day. But if I give more days also, you will be lost. So what we have decided is tomorrow, 6 to 7 p.m., the assessment will be there. Right? So we will keep it 1 hour. It will be around 40 question objective type question.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
Tomorrow we have a seminar in DAV, and we come back at 8 p.m.
Okay.
So that's why not possible at 6 to 7.
how many people are there who can't meet this meeting at 6 to
Ma'am,
7? How many of
same.
you can? Please put your virtual hand.
me, ma'am.
Virtual
Yes.
hand, virtual hand, virtual hand, virtual hand.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Today in morning we have one examination, a pre-board examination, and we had performed duty in that, and that's why we could not attend the first whatever the exam you have taken.
Okay. Actually, the hands raised is it for you can't attend. So can we, if all of you are comfortable, we can open from 9 to 10.
Oh yes, yes.
Can all of you? Can all of you remove? 1 minute, 1 minute. Can all of you lower your hand, and then I can take a oath, right? So for 9 to 10, if there is any chance.
Excuse me, 9 to 10 p.m.
9 to 10 p.m.
Yes, yes, okay.
10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Sir, a.m. we are resorting because tomorrow many of you are working as well.
Yes.
So we are not wanted to disturb that. And you also need time to go through once the content. Because this is your final assessment. We don't want you to feel very much depressed. Because from morning we are getting calls also that I have scored very less, I'm feeling very bad, and all that calls we have got. So we want you to also perform. Okay. So you can get time till evening to go through. There won't be any question out of syllabus question, only from the presentation. Okay. So can I request all of you to lower your hand so that I can check if there is any challenge. Just give me a minute. I'm just lowering all of your hands. Okay. Just please listen to the thing. Is there anyone who has problem 9 to 10?
Ma'am, 9 to 10 a.m. or p.m.?
9 to 10 p.m. sir. 9 to 10 p.m. I'm removing all the... So just don't raise your hands now. I'm lowering all of your hands.
Today?
9 to 10 p.m. Who cannot attend assessment?
Today or tomorrow, madam?
Tomorrow, sir, not today.
Tomorrow will fine. Yes, fine.
Yeah.
9 to 10, right, madam?
9 to 10 who cannot attend. Who cannot attend. Yeah, tomorrow.
Excuse me, madam. Sorry, madam. Tomorrow we are going to attend a marriage function at Bangalore. All our school teachers are going by train. By 3:15, we are going by Lal Bagh. So it is not possible.
Okay.
Ma'am, how many questions we are expecting?
You will have only 40 questions. Okay.
We will have 40 questions.
Ma'am, can it be possible on Sunday morning? Can it be possible on Sunday morning, ma'am?
No.
Don't keep madam anything.
Ma'am, can be Sunday, please?
Sir, Sunday psychologically it will become a depression for everyone.
Sunday
Let it be a family time.
Madam, why not today?
1 minute, I request everyone to please listen. Please
Madam,
listen.
Why not
Excuse me,
today,
please
9 to 10
listen.
PM?
Please listen. Sunday we will not have any assessment. I request all of you to please listen. Sunday we will not have any assessment. It's a family time.
Today only, madam.
Just give me a minute.
It has to be on today. It has to be today.
Yeah,
No, ma'am. Tomorrow 9 to 10 is fine.
No, it should be
Not fine for us, ma'am.
Not fine for us even.
Madam, can you please
Can we keep it for Monday, ma'am?
No, ma'am. Can I please listen now? I have hardly like 10 hands who have raised. 1, 2. Those who cannot attend tomorrow 9 to 10 p.m. the assessment, kindly raise your hand. Others, please lower your hand. Others, please kindly wait. Don't speak. Okay. Those who can't attend.
Ma'am, I won't be able to attend tomorrow.
Ma'am, no need to speak. I only wanted you people to raise your hand so that it's easy for us to have a count. Right. So what we will do is, can you all please lower your hand? Once again, I'm sorry, this is the way we have to moderate. Otherwise, I don't have a choice because we are trying all the possibilities of, right. Those who are still raising your hand, kindly lower your hands. Okay. The final thing what we can do is we will open the assessment from 7 to 9. Okay, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So that within this 2 hours, you can take, and it hardly takes you 40 questions to write. So it should not take more than 30 minutes. You can choose your own time. Who cannot attend within this totally 7 to 9 p.m. Tomorrow,
which
7 to
platform?
9. It will be a Google form, ma'am. It's
No,
hardly in
do
your
you have
mobile.
to join Zoom or it will
No,
be
no,
available
no.
in the
Sir, please, all of you, please listen. It will be only a link which is shared with you. You have to individually take the link and attend. If you're even traveling, you can participate within those 2 hours and complete it.
7 to 9 p.m. today?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
Yeah. Tomorrow,
Telegram.
7 to 9 p.m.
And
Ma'am, you said 9 to 10. Ma'am, we keep it from 7 to 10 at least, because you said 9 to 10. I was comfortable in 9 to 10.
Correct. Make it 7 to 10, madam.
3 hours, if we give, you can find one by one answer and then fill your forms.
8 to 10. 8 to 10.
yes, ma'am, 8
Yeah,
to 10.
okay,
because
8 to
we-
10 is
will be
okay.
nice. Yes,
8 to 10,
yes.
though only 5 people
Because,
have raised. If 8 to 10 you are comfortable anywhere, you can lower your hand.
Yes, ma'am, 8 to 10.
Yes, ma'am.
8 to 10, there is more roads.
Ma'am, the link will be sent in our email.
No,
I will tell
Telegram.
ma'am. I will come
Telegram.
step by step. Please wait. We will just finish the date.
Ma'am,
because
why
we are running
it can't
out
be
of time.
today?
Sir, not today because we also want you to perform.
Yes,
it's like
yes,
you have listened.
I do
Please
think that
conduct it today,
if
madam.
it can be conducted today, it will be nice. I think.
Yes, ma'am,
If
we are
things are
ready to
fresh.
Please
We
conduct
are
it today,
ready to
madam,
go.
only.
Then all of you
Conduct it today
need to
itself.
consider.
Yes, today is much
Please
better
conduct,
than
madam, today itself.
Dr. Angel,
We heard about it.
Dr. Angel, I feel
Yes.
that more response you will have today. Tomorrow you will have
Okay.
half of the response.
Done. Can I
Because
just ask
family-
one
No,
minute?
no,
This is the
tomorrow,
last
tomorrow.
OT.
No,
ma'am, tomorrow
Ma'am,
Tomorrow,
tomorrow
okay,
it will be
ma'am.
better, ma'am.
Third,
Tomorrow it will be
if
better in
this
the
much
night.
of variation is coming,
No
we will
tomorrow
fix
and no
one
Sunday,
time, one
please, ma'am.
date. So we have purposefully made it tomorrow, the assessment, just because there were a lot of things which was communicated today, which is not the first time many people are listening. Some of you are more comfortable with all the terminologies earlier. But as per the data we have got, out of this 345 people, almost 70% are new to this particular topic. Expecting them just listen today and attend is not a right way of assessing for a final certification. That's not a good educator's strategy as well, though we planned it, but we understood from the observation of the data which is coming in the 2 days. So that's why it's fixed for tomorrow. So in tomorrow, we are giving only 2 hours because 3 hours is too much for us to open the thing. So we will open 8 to 10. I could only see 3 hands who was raised that they cannot participate in 8 to 10. Those who cannot participate 8 to 10 alone, please raise. See, every time it is possible that somewhere we need to compromise ourselves. Somewhere we have to make arrangements. It's hardly a 30 minutes traveling. Even you can use your mobile and do it. So on a majority role, we will be going for the time of assessment. So there are only 5 people who have raised the hands. We will talk to them one-to-one. Himanshi, please make a note of this 5 persons. Yeah. 3. Now it's the final count is 5. Yeah, this 5 names, please make a note on it so that I can talk to them specifically. Somewhere you need to align with the group. If not possible, then we also cannot help because 5 people are only now struggling, so we cannot change this. This is the maximum we could also extend. So tomorrow the assessment will be 8 to 10. So please ensure that the way you will get the link is not through mail. It will be only posted in the group.
Ma'am, 8 to 10 p.m., right?
8 to 10 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
Right? So we will be putting this link in the group, Telegram group only. And we request all of you, whoever like 345, it will maybe people who never attended this session may also attend tomorrow who is in the Telegram group, but they will not get certificate for it. Only those who will get certificate is who have attendance as well. So they may get like they participated in a quiz and got it, but not for attending 2 days training program, master training program. They'll get a certificate that they participated in quiz and got 70% and above. Like that, they'll get a certificate. But only those who have attendance will get a complete course completion certificate for 2 days, right? This is one information for your assessment. So we will again reshare all the 5 presentations along with the recorded session, which is available in YouTube with all of you for you to go through if you are required to go through. This is one thing. So to go ahead, what is expected from you? Because now finished training, assessment, you have got a certificate. We will take at least till Tuesday to Wednesday to send your certificate. But all of those who have given your attendance, like with this 7 sessions attendance which you have filled, with that we will give you relieving certificate directly. But the course completion certificate will be issued only in the next week. But I am requesting all of you, no need to keep asking again and again in the Telegram, when I will get certificate, when I will get certificate. Because we also have a continuous training back-to-back program on Monday, Tuesday. So we need to work out the way we did it. So we also need time. So you please wait for the next whole week. Okay, so I'm just now itself announcing as a buffer time. Leave the complete next whole week. Expect only after that. Just give us at least a 10 days time, because we need to do a lot of work behind to finalize the certificates. So it will take 10 days for us to issue the certificate. And certificate will be a soft copy. It will not be a hard copy. It will come to your mail. And since it is going to be automated and sent, it will not come to your inbox. This is very important point. It sometimes go to your spam, because it's a bulk numbers which is going. We cannot sit and send one-to-one mail. It will go through a automated software. So sometimes such certificates directly reach to you in spam only. Okay. So you have to please ensure that when we have issued the certificate, we will put a message in the Telegram group. You should not leave the Telegram group. You should stay in the Telegram group. Once we issue the certificate, we will put that the certificate is issued. After we give you the message, you can actually check your mail in inbox, as well as you can check in the spam. The relieving certificate will also be issued tomorrow, but all the relieving certificate also will be issued to an automated manner only. So when you are seeing, please, Monday morning, when you see your relieving letter, if you have not received in inbox, check in spam first. Don't start immediately putting messages, I didn't receive. Kindly check your mail thoroughly. This is number 1 help we request from you. Number 2, if anybody is not getting, then there may be an issue of mail ID. And if any mail bounce back, we will be putting the message in the Telegram with your name and organization that your mail has bounced back. Kindly give your correct mail. So one thing we want all of you to support is, the moment you all put unnecessary message in Telegram, all of them will lose interest in being in that group. So we have learned about ethical behavior, social behavior, all this. So we expect you to first level practice that. So if somebody is not going to practice that, this may not look very nice, but still I'm telling this, because if we cannot practice, we cannot make you as a master trainer, first of all. So if we are not finding somebody not properly using the group, we will be giving intimations, we will tell don't do this, all that. But if somebody is not ready to listen, do it again, we will be forced to remove them from the group. Because otherwise maintaining the group is really a difficult aspect. So we will be requesting all of you to take your self-responsibility in the Telegram group, so that it will be a meaningful group. We are in multiple groups. We are wasting our life in groups. It is actually a frustration to many people in being in a group. Nobody likes to be in any group after the training, because they will put good morning, good afternoon, happy Independence Day. All these are strictly prohibited in this group. No personal messages, no wishing messages, no other messages other than this training and content. Maybe you're reading through, you don't understand something in this content, please put your question. Any others can help them if somebody is asking a question, but don't copy the answer from website and just keep posting. For one person today, the moment chat box, one question comes, all of you are opening websites and copying and pasting. All websites are not giving correct answers. So if you're really sure of the answer, you put it. Otherwise, there will be resource persons who will help out with the answers. This is our plea to you, because until and otherwise all group members support us, this group will become a rubbish group or a dustbin, another dustbin. So let us not do it. It was really difficult. I don't know how many of you realize it. To add each person into a group, 10 members of our team has called one-to-one people, at least 20-30 times to some people, because they do not know how to install Telegram step by step. So it's an effort, human effort that has gone behind. So let's respect that, and let's respect each and everyone who's going to be in the group. So we request all of you to ease the group in that meaningful manner. That's a request from that side. The last point which we wanted to tell is what are we going to expect from this particular team is, once all of you complete it, those who are getting certified out of this program, the name list will be sent to the complete final name list, that these are the people certified for attending this program, will go to your organization as well as to the states. We will be sending this, that these have completed the complete training. So they may be continued to be part of the master trainers training program, because this 2 days is not sufficient to make you as a master trainer. This is a first level orientation, but we don't want to keep calling you again and again. But so what will happen is, once you have done, to your mail ID, we will be, those who are clearing alone will be moved to another Telegram group. We will remove you from this phase wise, and we will be removing all other people who are not certified or who are not part of it. And the resource persons who have been part of this trainings will also be added with you. And there is a continuous messages which will come on capacity building. So NCERT has done a lot of sessions already, one-to-one, to explain each and everything with the support of experts. So we have compiled everything as a playlist. So we will be sharing all this. We are planning to share it as a document, not as a link in the Telegram group. One PDF file where all these links will be there in the form of clickable links and QR code, with all the video resources with topic wise will be there, which you can click and watch on your own whenever you get time. So we will be sharing it, but we will give a timeline of, now we are in the month of December, till next January or February end. We will communicate all that in written manner. Till February, you will be keep on watching these resources. All the videos we have recorded till now related to cyber safety, we will be sharing with you, and you can all go through it. I would like to just share the screen to show where you can find all the guidelines NCERT has developed to be used. If you go to CIET website, I'll be putting the link also in the box. You can see there is something called resources in the banner, and there is cyber safety and security. So the moment you click on this, you can see these are various guidelines already developed. You can take all these guidelines and use it. You can reprint it. You can share it. You can take the content from this and prepare your materials. You are allowed to do anything because this is all released under CC by SA. You can see like there is a tip book. This is like as a book, and so you can see it's like a one tip per day. So there are 52 tips, but each tip page can be printed and pasted in your schools as well. So that's an intention we came out with this book. So we'll also show, this is not uploaded as a PDF, but just within next week, we will upload the PDF form also. So this is one book which is having like this, which you can just week-wise one tip. So which is there, and all these details are also available, which you can use. And there are many other tips which you can also do. It is in Hindi and English, it is available. So you can see like this is only on cyberbullying, There is one guide for parents, one guide for teachers, one guide for school, one guide for students. So for students, if you click, like, it's very simple thing, do's and don'ts. So that's how it's created. You can see it's just do's and don'ts. It's hardly 10-15 pages, not more than that. You can even take these printouts and then paste it, share it, all that you can do. You can see it's hardly 5-6 pages, not much. So these are some of the resources already released and made available. And this is also a calendar form which we have kept it, which can be the tip which we have come out with a book. This is like in the form of a PDF, like which you can print it and paste it. It's already uploaded here. So you can, this is like just print it and paste it in your schools. So this is one of the resources you can use it. These are some 2 important materials which has been released by different ministries. So we have added, Ananta sir was talking about it, like on Cyber Girls. So and ISEA has worked on it. So this is one of the book which you can use it, how to handle. And there is one more book on Handbook of Adolescents, very specifically released by Ministry of Home Affairs. All these resources can be accessed. And if you come to the events, workshops and trainings, if you see here, NCERT is conducting Cyber Jagrita Divas session every month. Even if you're not able to do any training on your own immediately, you can even share this links to start helping. If you're in a school, you can even share this with students. So how we conduct this, every month we select a theme. So this is for the month of, this month it's just started and it's running. This month the theme is on cyber threat. So on first Wednesday, there will be a panel kind of a group presentation on always on the theme and policy perspectives, continued by every Friday. All the details you will get in the page when you click. So how you are expected to join also. So now only 2 days sessions are over. The videos will keep getting updated whenever the session is happening. So this is happening today. So the immediate session link will come here. This is particularly a series of programs. So you can just register yourself. For every theme, you have to register separately. Watch the sessions. There will be an assessment released on the last session. So last session is like, you can see on 23rd December for this month. And the session will be open for 1 month for you to learn, read everything, and then attempt the session. So this is at the end. Once you take this, you will get a certificate for participating in this session and scoring. But certificate will be given only to those who get more than 70% in the assessment. In the platform, sometimes 50%. All the details are there. So you can see all the previous sessions, but all the previous session certification is closed. Right now, this is open and you can start watching this. Right now, this month is open. Okay. So this is what is the resource which is available for you to start learning yourself. This is for self-learning. So we will compile all this, and within this month of end, we will be sharing with the selected people who will complete all the tasks for a self-learning. And there will be one more assessment, which is not just an objective type assessment. It will be a proper assessment for checking the knowledge. And it will be in the month of February end or in the month of January, March first week. So that will be your final assessment for selection to be a master trainer. And after that, we will have one face-to-face training completely to the final training. So this is how we are going to work. So this is a 2 days. I know that it's like input, but we'll have 5 days or 3 to 5 days of, it's not yet decided, 3 to 5 days of a face-to-face training with which we will announce all of those who are completing as master trainers, and we will submit the name list also to ministry that they are all going to be master trainers as well as cyber ambassadors. So this is the holistic plan. Okay. So there are people again asking question, when is assessment? Assessment is tomorrow from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Okay, done. Any questions till now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
Ma'am, can we attend the Monday and Tuesday training out of interest?
No, ma'am. No. But you can attend the same training through YouTube, not through Zoom meeting. The way we are now making live this session, because the resource persons are different completely, though we are trying to, the complete set of resources, except Karnika ma'am, all our resource persons are different for next workshop. So if anybody is personally interested, the live session, which we are making it in YouTube, live link will be shared in your WhatsApp group, in the Telegram group also. So you can watch that, but not through Zoom call meeting.
Kindly, I have one question.
Yes,
if any other workshop we have, like in the continuation of this, can you kindly send the mail to the school also? As now, though I got the personal mail.
Ma'am, that is, we have sent only because we are not inviting you individually. The deputation has been sent from your organization, so we are not allowed to send a letter to your school. Because when we invite you individually for a workshop, we will send it to the school to not debut you. But right now we have sent letters to the state authorities, SCRTs, and to the CBSE chairman, and to the director training. So from them, the deputation has come officially to us. So we are only then proceeding to contact one-to-one. So we are not allowed to officially send a letter to your school.
Okay, thank you.
So you can inform your director in charge, that like whoever is sending the deputation, to send the deputation letter to school as a copy. Okay, ma'am. Yeah.
Fine, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, I have a question. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, my video is not starting up.
It's okay, ma'am. No issues. So kindly wait for a few minutes, like another 10 minutes, we will close. Please wait, do not leave. Yeah.
Just a little question. You said that the 2 questions have been changed. Even I had a query in those 2 questions. I just wanted to know what are the question numbers like.
One question was, if you want to have the contact number, where will you search? So that was one question. And I should check the other question. I'll put the post questions in the Telegram group.
Yes, that would be very helpful. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
Madam, one thing, tomorrow assessment is compulsory for all?
Yes, ma'am. Without assessment, you will not get the final certification.
Okay. Now, ma'am, second one, what you just told now about the Cyber Jagrita Divas. We are also organizing various events in our school. Is it required that can we upload those events and activities in your portal?
No, ma'am. We cannot upload in our portal. This is only NCRT's program.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, how you can know, ma'am, our activities, or it is not necessary that you should know we are going on with the program?
Ma'am, actually, we are not going to know what you're doing as Cyber Jagrita Divas. You're all working in CBSE. Every state and every organization has to report to ministry directly. CBSE submits a report to what they are doing in their school. So your intimation, whatever you are doing, should be known to CBSE, not to us. On behalf of NCRT, we will report only our RIEs and DMS schools what they are doing. So that is why they are also part of your whatever they are doing, we will report to the ministry. CBSE affiliated school, CBSE reports, state affiliated school, SCRT directly reports.
Ma'am, last one, Sujata ma'am told about the guidance certificate, the counseling, guidance and counseling certificate. Ma'am, if I don't have any psychology optional subject with me, can we go for that? If one doesn't have any psychology,
I think there is no need for a psychology background. I'm not sure of the eligibility. Sujata ma'am could tell, or ma'am, you can just see the eligibility criteria in our website also.
Angel madam.
Yes, Sujata ma'am.
Can you repeat the question?
No, they were asking, without psychology background, can they join guidance and counseling course?
Yeah, if they are B.Ed, they can join. If they have B.Ed.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. B.Ed is there.
Yeah.
You can join.
Ma'am, is it available at Bhubaneswar?
Yes, madam. It is available in all RIEs as well as in India.
Okay, ma'am, how long it will be continuing?
Ma'am, you need to get to the details of the course. In our website, there is a complete details. Kindly go through that. Okay, so it will help you to get the complete understanding.
Ma'am, master training, say, right? Master trainers. Do we train our co-teachers or students or both later?
As a master trainer, we are expecting you to support the state in the next academic year to take this training at a large scale awareness program in the state level and in the organizational level. But if CBSE expects since 2 days you have already trained, after going, if your organization or state is telling already you attended 2 days, no, do some training now itself, you can still continue. There is no harm in that. Master trainers is to basically train all the teachers, ma'am. We are looking at creating the awareness among all the teachers is the first target.
Angel ma'am.
Yes,
Madam.
Can we request only to take up questions one by one, because I'll be taking another 5 minutes to take up the question, because there are many people who have raised hand. So if you have raised hand for not questions, excuse me, sir, please. Yeah, those who are not having questions, kindly lower your hand so that I can take only questions from those who have queries in the order. Valmiki sir, do you have a query or comment?
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes.
Let's go by order, sir. Valmiki sir.
Yeah, Dr. Angel, thank you for giving me an opportunity. I don't want to open up the Pandora box again regarding the timing. I compromise and I will go with 8 to 10. Though situation is very gloomy here in Meghalaya, I will manage it somehow, because we have Space Application Center also, Department of Space behind us.
Thank you, sir.
I will manage.
Those who have raised hand only for the assessment part, can you please lower it down so that I don't take their things? Manisha, ma'am, West Bengal.
Actually, I have the problem with the timing.
So those who are only raised your hand with timing, can you put up your hands down? Those who have problem with the only timing, whose hands are raised, please put up your hands down. Yeah, Amit Sharma ji.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I just got the message that I am in phase 2 also. So
no, sir. No need, sir. If you have attended, actually, there is a confusion in CBSE list that some of you have put in 2 phases. You don't need to add in the second phase. While we have done the segregation,
someone added me in Telegram.
It's no problem, sir. You message in the group. We are only adding, so you message in the group and you can leave the group for phase.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. Maya, ma'am. We will formally close by 5, but after 5, I'll take questions if there is any. So just in 1 minute, I will go for the final validation.
Good evening, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, Maya, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have 2 queries. Actually, one is regarding a question which a lady had already raised. The schools being informed regarding our deputation for the course. Ma'am, I have been deputed, it seems, by CBSE RO Guwahati. And my principal doesn't have any information regarding this. So will it be possible from your end to inform the concerned?
No, ma'am, this is a common answer for everyone. The
deputation... No, not individually, ma'am. At least can you ask these agencies to inform the concerned teachers or the schools? Because they are the ones who are deputing.
Yeah, that you have to ask them, ma'am. Because we are not supposed to tell them what they are supposed to do. So the thing is, whoever has deputed you can just inform them wherever through which organization you have got a deputation. You can just put a message to them that you have
because many a times, parallel jobs are being assigned, like exams are going on. So
I understand, ma'am. So that can be done through the organization who's deputed.
That is one, ma'am. The second is regarding this master trainer thing. You're saying that we'll have to impart courses to other schools and other teachers or whoever. So we have some knowledge about the content agreed, but then if we are to take this up on an online level, we would require some kind of technical support and stuff and all that. Now, what kind of
Ma'am, don't bother about what you will do as a master trainer. Let's first build our capacity.
Ma'am, because the moment we reach now, as you said, I think CBSE is going to tell us, okay, you're trained now, you go and train these 10 people. But they wouldn't give us any infrastructure or any kind of technical support or anything. So I don't know how this...
Ma'am, there is nothing about technical support. All these days also cyber safety training is running in CBSE. There are many people whom I personally know them. They are taking session on cyber safety who doesn't know anything about it. They just asked me to share a presentation which I am using. So I have shared, they are just repeating it. That's all. So right now, at least you will be one step better than that. Right? That's all.
Good evening, ma'am.
Sir, we are going by order. Kindly wait in queue.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Sir, you are in queue, so kindly wait. Yeah. AP Chinta Maruti.
मैडम नमस्ते, मारुति सुधाकर अनंतपुर से बात कर रहा हूँ मैडम।
यस सर।
मैं तो कंप्यूटर में कई प्रकार के काम करता हूँ और वेबसाइट में कई प्रकार के वेबसाइट्स में सर्च भी करता हूँ, डाउनलोड भी कर सकता हूँ। लेकिन तो ये टेक्निकल वर्ड्स है ना मैडम, मैं तो कहीं भी इंस्टीट्यूट में कंप्यूटर से संबंधित ज्ञान तो प्राप्त नहीं किया है। मैं तो पर्सनली कंप्यूटर में काम करते रहता हूँ, और लेकिन तो ये टेक्निकल वर्ड्स है तो मुझे तो बहुत डिफिकल्टी हो रही है मैडम ये साइबर एग्जामिनेशन में, इसीलिए मैंने तुमसे बात करना चाहता हूँ। some technical words I am not understanding.
Sir, actually that is why we are giving you some more time to go through the content, because it's not possible just by listening once you will learn. So you can learn till tomorrow. So if you are having still difficulty, we will check what we can do. Okay. And just one more point before I take up the next, because it's already 4:50, we will wind up and then I will take up the question. One more point I wanted to do is, though we have trained all of you, it is like not forced that everyone will become a master trainer also. Because some of you are deputed without any understanding like why you are deputed here. Randomly, they have to depute 20 people. They have randomly picked and deputed 20 people. So this is something which you can also talk to your own coordinators who is going to contact you in the future, that you will be able to do, not able to do. And we are not going to force anyone to continue. When we call next time out of this group on willingness basis only, we will call for the face-to-face training. Will not be like a forced training. Okay, sir.
Okay,
and
good evening, ma'am.
Sir, just 1 minute. Sir, just 1 minute, sir.
Good evening.
So, so formally we will, because Professor Bera is not able to join, I guess. I'll just check whether the last one, no, is not able to join. So I think like we will wind up the session because 5 o'clock was the time. So we will close today's session. I extend my thanks. So 1 minute. Chandan sir, I'll close, wind up, and I'll continue to answer your queries. Okay, yes, so that those who are not having queries can leave at least by 5. Okay, that's all is the intention of. So I take this time to thank each and everyone who has been very cooperative during these 2 days and enthusiastically participated. Thanks to everyone. And we will continue to interact in the Telegram group. So thanks to everyone, and those who have questions alone can stay back. Otherwise, feel to read. So last word is tomorrow, 8 to 10 p.m. will be the final assessment. The link will be shared only through Telegram group. So this is 2 points which all of you need to carry out. So again, all the presentations will be put in the group after an hour. So give us a little time to breathe. So next minute, don't ask in the Telegram group presentation, though there is no use of it. So just give us some half an hour or 1 hour time so that we'll be able to put in the group. Then afterwards.